Yo, this is BJ Gador with Men's Health. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, and today we're going to talk about 5 pull-up pointers to make sure you become a pull-up powerhouse. We're going to break it down by mobility, performance, corrective ideas, progressions, and also assistives that'll help you get better at pull-ups. Quick housekeeping issue. This Friday, as always, our weekly Friday Facebook Live workout at noon Eastern. Another great bodyweight workout with yours truly. Let's work for that weekend. I can't wait because every Friday it's fries. Got to get those in. So we'll start first pointer, right? Mobility. Mobility is a prerequisite to do any exercise correctly. And a lot of guys, because we are desk jockeys, work here all day, and we tend to have a little more muscle, we're muscle bound, the lats shorten and stiffen, which means it's hard to get our arms overhead. We don't have enough shoulder flexion. So what ends up happening is we end up compensating by hyperextending the lower back, the ribs flare, the shoulders rise and shrug. Not only are we risking impingement in the shoulder, that clicking, grinding stuff that's going to wear down that rotator cuff, but we're actually stressing the spine. When you think about the pull-up, it's really an amazing movement because it decompresses the spine. All the stuff we do during the day, compressive forces, squatting, sitting, jumping, deadlifting, the pull-up kind of offsets that and decompresses and essentially hydrates and nourishes the spine, the intervertebral disc. So we want to take advantage of that. One of my favorite mobility drills for that is the prayer stretch. So you'll see this in yoga, and I'm going to do it in a better way because we want more leverage and get a better stretch through it. But you'll see them do this, great stretch, but let's enhance it by elevating on the bench, at home, ottoman, chair, sofa cushion, works great. Arms are straight. We're going to crunch the abs. Again, the whole point of this is movement at the shoulder without moving at the lumbar spine. Abs tight. We're going to breathe through the belly and just sink into the stretch. I'm going to move side to side. I'm going to add some rotation into it. Every exhale, try to get a little bit lower. We'll almost always have a tight side, so oftentimes it's my right side. I'll just drop one hand down and just work on that side. If you feel the tension to be very specific to the tricep and just underneath the shoulder, you can also go into a elevated tricep stretches or a bent elbow prayer stretch and just work on really isolating it right at the level of the tricep. 2 to 5 minutes on this drill is what I recommend, pre-post workout. Also Netflix and stretch. That means at night you're watching your shows. Do this while you're watching TV between commercial breaks, or just, you can watch this. I can do this while watching the show. It's a little bit difficult, okay? You'll find a way to get it in. So that's the number one drill to start working on, guys. Abs tight, inhale, exhale, through the belly, 2 to 5 minutes, elevated prayer stretch. Now, this is where mobility meets muscle. So Paige, by the way, Paige is back. Turn in and say hello.
Okay, it's not working.
There it is.
Hey.
That's it. That's all we got from Paige today, okay? So Paige is here. She's not with us Friday, so I said, Paige, you got to come on Wednesday. The guys are going to be upset. So the pull-up shrug, and I'm going to show this first facing away. The whole concept of this movement is, we go from what's called a passive hang, which is a deep, deep stretch for the lats, to an active hang, which means we pull the shoulders down. So think about a turtle head coming in and out of the shell. The arms remain straight. We're really developing what's called the mid-lower trap. So the mid-trap pulls the shoulder blades back. The lower trap pulls the shoulder blades down. And most guys, they're very upper, everyone wants to do the Tom Hardy traps, upper trap dominant, which means we're very shruggy. So we don't have the strength in the mid-lower trap to stay down. So this is a great movement to develop that. Here's what that looks like. So I'm going to be from a hang here. I'm going to fully let my shoulders shrug towards my ears, pause for a count, and then pull my shoulders as far down to my hips as I can, pause for a count, and then lower control and repeat for repetitions. I love this drill. I think this is the key to performing pull-ups for the rest of your life. It sets an amazing foundation. One of the things I do now before any upper body workout or pull-up workout, I'll do 10 pull-up shrugs every minute on the minute. So the moment I get my 10 reps done, I rest the remainder of that minute, and I repeat that for 10 straight minutes, 100 total reps. You can start with just 5, 6, 7, build up to the 10s, but this will warm you up. It's where mobility meets muscle. It sets the stage for some great pull-up performance. So that's number one, mobility. Performance-wise, so we talked about, and I know we're going to get questions about this bar. This bar, this freestanding pull-up unit, is from a website called Trapeze Rigging. Remind us, we'll post at the end of the session page, okay? Because they're going to be asking about it. It's the most common thing I get it almost all day. They don't care about me. They wonder about this pull-up bar. So when people do pull-ups, right, we'll lose control, we'll do these kind of spastically, and we just talked about the importance of not overly extending the lower back and letting the ribs rise. So the best way, if you're looking for clean pull-ups and really maintaining some great core contraction, is called the hollow body pull-up. So all we're going to do here in that hollow position, really quick before we get into it, is foundational gymnastics. And actually I recommend this being one of your main core exercises to get better at pull-ups. You're just going to basically lift the shoulders, tuck the chin, press your lower back hard into the floor, start from a tucked position, and you're going to maintain this as the arms and legs move away from the body, toes point, squeeze the legs together, creating midline tension all the way through the body, create tension in the lats. We're breathing through our belly, and we're trying to make ourselves like a Chiquita banana or a hammock? What is it, babe?
It's hammock.
It's hammock.
I think.
Hammock shape. And this is the shape we're trying to maintain during the pull-up. So it just locks everything in. It's one of the foundational moves in gymnastics, and gymnasts know a little bit about pull-ups. So we're going to go with a neutral grip on this. By the way, the neutral grip, probably the most accessible grip for most guys. Gives you a little rotation. Probably the best training grip to train with more often than not, especially if you've had shoulder pain in the past. So all you'll do is get the ripped shoulders down, hollow body position, point the toes, pull up, squeeze, control down. Now, initially, you might not get as many reps as normal because you're lengthening the lever. It's more challenging for the core, but you're locking in perfect technique, so don't worry about the reps. If you want to go to more of the bent knee option, or you don't have a high enough bar where you can legs can be extended, go bent knee, but just make sure we're focusing on ribs, shoulders down, abs clenched, and focus on squeezing the legs together to create more intra-abdominal pressure and strength and control. So I don't want to go like this. I want to still, the knees might be slightly in front of the body. I'm squeezing tight, rib shoulders down, engage, pull up, squeeze, control down. I'm not saying it has to be all the way up here, just slightly in front of the body will help a lot with performance. So that was number 2. Number 3, corrective, right? So if you have been training for a very long time, have been doing things the wrong way for a long time, do a lot more pushing than pulling, don't have a lot of strength in the rotator cuff or the mid-lower trap, you gotta do some stuff pre or post-workout or both, or on off days to help you do well on those pull-ups. So a couple of quick drills just with a single band. So this is not only one of the great drills for pull-ups, but also improving your bench press. Powerlifters do this a lot. The band pull apart, all you're gonna do is pull right across to the level of the nipples. I said nipples. Are you okay? I don't want to be too suggestive today. Squeeze tight, come back in. All right, you get more tension in the band by going with a thicker band or by grabbing tighter. And these are great for sets of 20 repetitions. The high rep movement, you want to really feel this in the upper mid back, rear delt. Another great one is the face pull. You can do this off of a cable as well, cable unit. A lot of people will use a rope handle, but I'm just going to use a single band. Again, I like to show stuff for you guys that you can travel with and do almost anytime, anywhere. And all I'm going to do is pull it right to my forehead, pause for a count, come back in. So again, another great high rep, 15 to 20 rep movement. Great for warming up, pumping blood into those working muscles. Another one of my favorites is just a basic carry, all right? An overhead carry. Now, overhead carries are great because what we want to do is improve the ability and stability in the shoulders when your arms are overhead, like you are in a pull-up. When one arm at a time helps offset and balance, it also helps strengthen the obliques. So all you would do is using a kettlebell, press overhead. Dumbbell works as well. Rib shoulders down, ab side, those same good core mechanics. And doing some walks. One of my favorite workouts with this is a legendary finisher, is you go 30 seconds on one side, immediately switch sides, go right into the other side, go for 10 straight minutes. You'll get stability, muscle, strength, a metabolic boost. You can also work on just classic overhead presses because you have to use the lat to control yourself down into that rack position. And again, we're building strength in the shoulders and just the whole upper body and that overhead pattern. Another great one. So, light kettlebell, we go bottoms up. So now you can do carries like this, you can do overhead presses like this, and now we're getting this oscillation effect which really fires up the shoulder stabilizers. It's smoking the shoulders, lats, even the forearm, biceps. I love that movement. Another great one is, let's go off the TRX here quick. So these are a series of what are called scapular raises, right? Shoulder raises using the TRX. Gymnastics rings work for this as well. And the great thing about it is you can seamlessly adjust your body angle to make it easier or harder. So the closer I am to the floor, the harder it is. The more elevated I am, the easier it is. With these, I don't want you muscling these movements. So make it easier and go for sets of 60 seconds of time under tension. So here's a series of moves we can do. We can do shoulder extensions or straight arm lat pulls, controlling that lowering portion. 10 reps should take you about 60 seconds with a nice slow lowering. Okay, that's a great one. We could also do classic T raises or rear delt flies. Love that exercise. Adding slabs of muscle to that back. I can also do combinations of row to external rotations. I love these. So you'll do a low row to external rotation, really getting that rotator cuff. Squeeze the shoulders down and back. Again, rib shoulders down, abs engaged. I can go with a high row to external rotation. Reset, bring it back. I'm just trying to shoot a bunch of great options here. I can also do, for more of the mid-lower trap, very important, like we talked about earlier, to keep the shoulders down, is a Y, or even more difficult, an I. And then here's just a really fun one. This will light you up. It's kind of like a wall slide, but using a TRX. What you're going to do is push back against, use the foot cradles, push back against the handles, keep tension in that, and make sure we don't extend the back. So crunch the abs, and slowly keeping tension pressed back against those straps. Go from a overhead extension to arms down here. So basically doing a pull-up or a press with tension there, great for mobility, muscle, and strength. The final option, pink! Join me. Okay? So this is actually, I'm using what's called a band bell bar it's a bamboo bar. It's a great, go to band bell bar, Google it. Awesome training tool. You should ask your gym to buy it if they don't have it. You can also set this up off of a barbell as well, but these have these nice little, if you look at them here, these little slots where you can put the bands in. So you got a nice band, kettlebell hanging off of each, and ideally, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna do, and I like this for sets of 2 minutes. Slow up, slow down. Is that a bad angle for you?
No, this works.
Let me come over here. It's not like this is
Perfect.
a cumbersome object, Paige. Okay, so here we go. Tight, I'm gonna press up slowly. Think about 3 to 4 seconds up, pause at the top, and then 3 to 4 seconds down. Do this for 2 straight minutes. The pump in your arms and shoulders will be off the charts. So what's going on here? We've got an oscillation, see all that bouncing around? That oscillation effect is really gonna fire up your joint stabilizers. Not only will I do this with presses, but even overhead carries. So these can be warm-up drills, these can be finishers, these can be things you do on off days that are relatively easy to recover from. And I just think this is such a valuable movement. Again, you think about, anytime you're trying to boost performance on a single movement, think about the positions you're in. The pull-up is an overhead arm movement, so you gotta do things in that, with the overhead arms position to strengthen that. And beyond that, anytime your arms are overhead, because your limbs are higher than the heart, there's a natural occlusion or blood flow restriction effect, which means there's gonna be more metabolic stress to the muscles, a lack of oxygen, so there's just a great way to build muscle and honestly get more vascularity too in the entire upper body. So those are our correctives. Add them in, they make a big difference. Progressions, all right, let's talk about this with regards to how do I start doing pull-ups. Let's say I'm overweight, or let's say I can't do one pull-up at all. So the best, most accessible way is going to be looking at, even though technically this is a different movement than a pull-up, it's a horizontal pull, but the inverted row, sometimes called the Australian row, some different names for it, is going to be more accessible because the body angle uses less of your overall body weight to do the pull. Now you can also use assisted pull-up machines. You can wrap a band, and I'll show that option coming up, under the knee or foot to assist you on a regular pull-up. But again, you want to develop that horizontal pulling strength as well. And Paige, you can join me on the side here. I don't want to get too much crotch. They didn't pay for that. Okay? They didn't pay for that. So what I'll do is get set up. Take a nice good overhand grip. Legs bent at 90 degrees. Abs tight, squeeze the glutes, and then just pull your sternum to the bar. Think about a reverse bench press. squeeze the top, lower and control. And you want to build up to be able to do sets of 10 plus reps. That's a great entry-level strength goal to start getting into some actual pull-up training. So the inverted row, and I can make it harder by straightening my legs, elevating my feet onto a bench. Using a TRX, that same angle is also more challenging because independent arm action and then suspension. So we've got that option. You also have the ability to, again, like I talked about earlier, and this is nice because you get the assistance out of the bottom, but by the time you get to the top, you're pretty much unassisted. So this is just a great, I'll show a chin-up option here. You can go one or two leg, and it's just gonna help you get up and then lower and control. So again, these are great. And what you do progression-wise, you start with a thicker band. Once you're using that band for sets of 10 plus reps, graduate to a smaller band, which gives you less assistance. But I think it's underrated to just use a Smith machine or a barbell and a power rack and just start working on assisted pull-ups, using as much leg assistance as needed, but no more than to execute the movement. So you'll start with two legs down, and again, the legs are just there to help you get up, and this will also allow you to get that chest to the bar, more range of motion than normal. So pull up, squeeze the top, and then especially in the bottom, because you're stronger in the lower and eccentric, don't use any leg assistance. Progress just doing one leg assistance so that you can't get as much assistance from that movement. And great for higher reps, great for tempo training. If you struggle to feel your lats on pull-ups, try this burner. Go for 90 straight seconds, 4 seconds up, 4 seconds down. I just did this the other day and I still feel the pump. So slow, use that mind-muscle connection, slow up. Use the lats, squeeze it, and then use the lats slowly on the way down. Go for 90 seconds, it'll change your life, okay? So that's how to do assisted pull-ups. You always want to have that in. Great for higher rep training. Pull downs are also a valuable movement. They alone will not get you better at pull-ups, but it's a great way to help develop just pure hypertrophy and muscle gain in those lats. Isometric. So it seems obvious, and I'm throwing a lot at you today, but I want you to be a pull-up machine. It seems obvious, but if you can't hang from the bar, you probably won't be good at pull-ups. So I give you two goals isometrically, meaning we're holding positions. You want to be able to effectively hold the bottom of a pull-up or a dead hang for 60 seconds. You also want to be able to hold the top position for 30 seconds. Once you hit those two goals, you've got it. Once you lock in the top and the bottom, you've got everything in between. You'll be able to do pull-ups. So I would add isometric holds either at the end of your workout to build some isometric strength. You could also dedicate a day of the week to your pull-up training. And if you're trying to really enhance your pull-ups, 3 days a week with a day of rest between workouts is ideal. One of those days you just be working on isometric holds. So I'll use neutral grip here again because that's how this bar works best. All I'll do, I'll use that bent knee, but locked in core position. Just work on holding this position. Max holds, you want to build the sets of 60 plus seconds. Now we talk about flex hangs. The first flex hang I want you to work on is arms at 90 degrees. So right here. This also tends to be the sticking point. People usually they'll pull up and they'll, I can't get any further. So by doing work isometrically here, we help blast through that sticking point when we go to full range of motion reps. And you want to build the 30 seconds here. And then eventually, once you can do that flexed arm hang for 30 seconds, keeping a good core engagement, build up to doing the top hang. So here, lock it in, and again, you can hold that for 30 seconds. You're gonna have to do regular pull-ups. So that's isometrically. Eccentrically, so you're stronger when you lower than you are when you lift. So we can initially begin just accessing pull-ups by cheating up, jumping up, or being in a situation where my legs can lift me and I just then pick them up and come down and just work on the lowering portion of the movement. I like sets of 6 reps here. Start with 3-second lowerings for 3 to 5 sets of 6 reps. Each subsequent session, add a second to that lowering. So 3, 4, 5. Once you're doing 6 sets of 10-second lowerings for multiple sets, again, you're ready to start doing pull-ups. So all that is, I'm gonna jump up, hold, pause, and then slowly, this is a 5-second go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reset. Kind of treat each rep as a set, and then I go right into the next one. So again, the goal is 3 to 5 sets of 6 repetitions using a 10-second lowering. Start with just a 3-second lowering, and then from session to session or week to week, add a second to the lowering. You'll get so much muscle gain because the eccentric stress, great for building muscle, but also get the strength and lock in the neuromuscular patterns, do regular pull-ups, and then you're ready to go. So we went through the progressions, assistive. So what movements can I do that aren't pull-ups to help get better at pull-ups? Let me give you 3 big ones. First one, and Paige, you're doing on the side here, is just a classic chest supported row. I love this one. And not that there's anything wrong with bent rows, but a lot of guys don't have the hamstring flexibility to get into a bent row position, flat back, and all the times they're rounding the spine. This also is super easy to recover from, isolates the movement at the shoulder level, and because we're doing 2 dumbbells, there's an independent action. Most pull-ups are a closed chain movement, right? So if you have a weakness on a side, it's hard to correct that. You can with dumbbells because of the independent arm action. So neutral grip is kind of that classic one to work with. You're going to pull the shoulders down and back, pull, squeeze for a count, trying to crack them up between the shoulder blades. Think about pulling the weights to the hip level and then take 3 to 4 seconds to lower. And I like this for sets of 10 to 15 repetitions, really to just build some great upper mid-back strength, also to add muscle mass, strength, and imbalances. Another one of my favorites off of that, and one of the linchpins, oh there you go, Paige, good camera work. This is like, she's on the fly here right now, is, man, the rear delt is so important, it really is. So one of the great ones too is a chest supported reverse fly. So what I'll work on, again, the bigger and stronger your rear delt, the better you'll get in every upper body exercise. Go overhand grip to get more rear delt. I like a straighter arm. I'll go lighter and go straighter with the arm because I'm trying to really focus on that rear delt. Don't let the weight get in the way of a good activation in that posterior shoulder. So raise up, squeeze, control down. Sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. Squeeze, control down. And then, what about some just straight gun work, right? So elbow flexion, whether in an overhand position, hammer, or underhand, it's critical to getting better at pull-ups. You got to do some direct arm work. You're trying to maximize your pull-up performance. So we can go off of an easy curl bar, and also think about your hand positioning relating to your actual pull-up grip. Paige, why are you smiling?
Everyone's saying I should get fired as a cameraman.
Oh, that's true, probably.
I know.
So if you want to get better at overhand grip pull-ups, do some more overhand grip curls or reverse curl. So elbows tight to the side, lift, squeeze, slow eccentric. We're trying to maximize strength and muscle gain here. You can go fast sometimes for higher reps, but in most cases, you want to really control that eccentric portion of the movement. One of my favorite is to burn out with the reverse curls, to do as many good reps in the 8 to 12 rep range of the overhand grip. Set it down, go to a more mechanically stronger position, and do the same thing with an underhand grip curl, slow lowering to burn it out. Classic dumbbell work is also great if you're looking for a great little gun show action here. Here we go, I'm back, okay? Try this out, this will burn like hell. So do about 8 to 12 reps. Pick a weight you can do 8 to 12 reps with a dumbbell reverse curl. Once you get your 8 to 12, rest 20 seconds. Get right into then 8 to 12 reps, hammer curl, same weight. Done with that, 20 seconds rest, finish underhand for another 8 to 12 reps. And then that's one round, rest a minute, do 3 to 5 rounds of that for a killer arm pump. And then, people don't even realize it, but the ab wheel, right? It's one of the few like fitness infomercial products that actually works. Get a pad for the knees. And this is really, in a way, it's kind of, it's like a straight arm pull-up. It's about core strength, great for the lats. It's also easy on the elbows. Those guys that have elbow pain that want to reap some of the benefits of the pull-up without bending the elbow, here's a good option for that. And again, I talk about it all the time. Slow, controlled eccentric. Take 5 seconds on the out. Keep the arms as straight as you can. Abs crunch, chin slightly tucked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nose should be almost at the floor. Pause for a count. Bring it in. Sets of 5 to 10 repetitions. Great accessory movement to build those up. So it's a lot of tips on the pull-up. If you want more information on the pull-up, more progressions, Check out my book, Your Body is Your Barbell page. We'll post a link to Amazon so you can check it out. And I break down all the progression step by step. Also the DVD 21-day Meta Shred. This Friday, Facebook Live workout, you and me, we're going to do Meta Shred pyramid intervals. You'll know what that means when you come on Friday. If you can't make it live, the video replays immediately on our Facebook page. Have a great Wednesday. Hope this helped. Please like, share. If you like more stuff like this, also let us know in the comments. And we'll see you Friday. Fries.